the stage. Internet's not all that hot, everybody. You know, I am not at home. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the St. James Show. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm your host, your bishop, your prelate. I am him. I'm St. James. Thank you so much for coming through the sanctuary on this Saturday afternoon, even though it is, what is it? What is it? Is it Saturday there? Because it's 11:25 p.m. here. So it's almost Sunday then, right? It's almost Sunday. Yeah, it's so it's almost Sunday here. So it's 11:25 p.m. here in Amsterdam. Man, let me tell you, I'm having a great time. It's not bad at all. I'm loving Amsterdam. Today was King's Day. King William Alexander. Everybody's over here in orange. Everybody is doing everything. They're celebrating. I just put up. We were just walking and checking out the festivities, and I put a little short up. It ain't really nothing. But I put it on the Carnal Church Sector page. So run over there and make sure that you're a member of that page. And also, of course, as always, I appreciate you for coming on in to the St. James Show. Hit that subscribe button if you are not a subscriber. And also hit that like button for me. Turn on all of your notifications so you'll be aware of when I do come live, all right? Make sure you are sharing on all of your social media websites and become a member, a monthly subscribing member to support the St. James Show. And there is your handles, as always, to support monetarily. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Let me put a goal on. Why not? Let's put a goal on tonight. You know what? I'm gonna put a goal. I'm gonna make it a small goal. We're gonna make a small goal tonight. Ooh, everything's in euro. That is so funny. Even on my phone, everything is in euro. Your Amsterdam seed. You know, y'all like to give when people tell you it's a seed. So y'all still going off of that? It's an Amsterdam seed tonight. Okay. Y'all know y'all like to do all that. So bless y'all heart. Who up in here today? What's up, Lokovich? Thank you, man, for coming in. Thank you for being a member. Sharon T. Leonard is here. What's up, CJ? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Ray's dancing. All I really want. You can play that on off. Yeah, play that on offering. They ain't even gonna know what you playing. I don't know. You go to a Baptist church, though. They might. No, just play. They might though. What's up, Nicole? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, hit that like button on the way in. Dion, Kim is in the building. How's that building coming along, Kim? Kim is building a pharmacy and some more stuff. All right. What's up, Alex? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. So it's what? 2:28 in California? 2:28 p.m. And it's 11, almost 11:30 here. What's up, Tashi? Morning, no love. Kevin is in the building. Thank you guys for being members. Cree B. Thank you so much. Love you too. Thank you for coming through. All right. Erica is here. What's up, Shelby? Good to see you as well. Kitten Hill. She done trotted on in here with her little kitten heels, y'all. She got her kitten heels on. Right. Mrs. Kendall, 2011. And now is that Kendall Peacock? Are you the wife of Kendall Peacock? Let's see what we have. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be one of them lives. Yeah. What's up, Mrs. P Boutique? Good to see you. Londa is in the building. Thank you so much for coming through. It's 5:28 on the East Coast. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shelby, for helping us reach our towards our goal tonight. Thank you so much for being the first. I'm glad you made it to Amsterdam safely. Have a great time. I plan to. And let me tell you this: it didn't seem like the flight was all that bad this time. It was 10 hours, of course, but when I took the flight to London, that was the first flight I had taken for 10 hours, and it just seemed like it was so dreadful. But this particular flight, I watched some movies, watched some shows, dozed off, slept a little bit, woke back up, and it wasn't as bad. So they was trying to feed you this food. They was feeding that the first thing they was trying to feed us was a vegetarian meal and some meatballs and pasta. I was like, Jesus, don't let these people eat these meatballs. Not on this plane. As you know, Running to that bathroom 50 million times. I did not want to be bothered with them folks in that bathroom. What Ray said, I'm non-denominational. When you become non-denominational? When you you're not, maybe you've always been. Maybe I just assumed. Did you pay for a Baptist church? Oh no. Oh no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. What's up, Marcellus? Oh, Marcellus. I did catch your I was dozing in and out a little while ago before about an hour ago or so. And I was listening to you um on there. So I'll drop the link if you want to come up later. If not, I understand. But you did a good live. So y'all make sure y'all go over to Marcellus and check out his live on the new information that we have received. All right. So yeah, so I'll be here another 3 more days. So I can't wait to go out and experience some more stuff. With the time difference, it was just like we got here, we left at 1 o'clock or so, and then we got here at 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. the next day. So this time difference is a little trippy. So we went out for a while today, had some good food, decent food. Now, come on now. We've had some good, decent food. It's looking better. It's looking much better than London. It really is. We went to a little pub um, and had some pizza, and they had some orange spritzer drink because of the King's Day. Everything is orange. Everybody in there, where that lay at? I should have had my everything is orange, so I don't know what that is. What's up, Leah? Where you been at? Where you been? Seminar's not till next week. I'm in Amsterdam for a few days, and then we're off to Stockholm, Sweden. On Wednesday, we're going to go to Sweden for the conference, which starts on Thursday. Yes. Great tour. You said the Heineken and Bowls. Oh, really? Okay. This is the place for Heineken, ain't it? Ain't it? Yeah. Meatballs on the plane sound like. Listen here. I was like, what are y'all serving? I was oh. Baptist Costa. Oh, okay. All right. I don't remember. Gotcha. Jack. I enjoyed yesterday. Yeah. Y'all had a good live talking about some good stuff. Well, and that's true. I know. But the thing about it, Nicole, everything shuts down. Like a lot of the restaurants shut down for King's Day. So we couldn't find anything around that was actually open. That little spot was where they were having like a parade or something. And so we just went on there. I seen an orange drink, and I was like, what's the specialty orange drink y'all got going on? But when I tell you, Nicole, there was a certain taste to that thing that set it apart. It really set it apart. And I usually don't go to get regular stuff, but it wasn't like I went to a BJ's or a Domino's or anything like that. What's up, Ann Brock, Queen Anne? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yep. Yeah, we gonna get into that, Leah. Let me tell you, all I got to say, getting into this Jake stuff, and I'm not going to go and read documents and all that because I'm going to read just a little paragraph about what's going on, and then, of course, the decision. But on here, one of the playlists that I do have right here at the St. James Show is the Bishop T.D. Jakes lawsuit. So you can click on the playlist and you can go and see all the paperwork that we've read through, everything that we've talked about in previous lives. Because I don't know how long this internet is going to keep me great. So I don't want to go through all that. And it's a lot of yada yada and a yada yada. We all know that they like to just say a lot of whatever in all this paperwork, and we don't really care about that. What's up, Katrina? Good to see you. Yeah, what's up, Jay Boogie? Make sure you guys are joining the membership. Joining the membership tonight. I want to see some more greens. Click on that membership, and also help us reach our goal. We only need 4 more to reach our goal on the super chat. So click that goal button and help us reach our goal. All right. Listen, so as I was saying, go back if you want some additional information on, but just for those who are kind of fairly new, we like to give just a short little synopsis of what's going on and why we say the judge has ruled. And you see Bishop Jakes in the thumbnail. You see the other man who is Dwayne Youngblood, who is being sued by Bishop Jakes. You see Tyrone Blackburn, attorney Tyrone Blackburn, who is Dwayne Youngblood's matter of fact, where's it at? Who is Dwayne Youngblood's attorney. And then you also see I had put him on, but we're going to talk about a third party, which is Larry Reed, which the lawsuits doesn't name him as a defendant, but it does speak to his podcast. It speaks to him. So he's associated according to the information that we see in the documents. Okay. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button. Go to the seafood bar. Somebody told me about that, Kim, or either I read it or seen it somewhere. The seafood bar. Gotta go. I love some seafood. Yeah. What's up, Jesse? What's up? What's up? So let's read this little statement in regards to. So I was given a little deal. I'm sorry. So y'all, not too much in the chat. Just let's Dick and Jane this thing. We'll get to all that. Okay. So the lawsuit is, for the newbies, Dwayne Youngblood comes out after 30, 40 years saying that he was essayed by T.D. Jakes when he was 18, 19, 20, whatever date he chooses depending on the documents that he's filing. He chooses a new date, a new year. So he came out and said that he had a conversation with Jakes. They were at a table. He took him out for his birthday. He was Elder Jakes at the time. He wasn't the Bishop Jakes that we know and love at this time. He said that as they were getting up to leave, Bishop Jakes he hugged him and tried to kiss him. So that led to Dwayne Youngblood now saying that he's been essayed by T.D. Jakes. So saying that he gets on Larry Reed's lives broadcast to tell his story. Now he's telling the story about other pastors, other leaders that he grew up under, but he focuses in on Bishop Jakes. And they clip Bishop Jakes's segments, and they really push that out there. And after doing that, they sent Bishop Jakes a $6 million demand letter. Pretty much, you give $6 million, or you negotiate some kind of amount, or we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep telling the story. Now, of course, y'all know the story is a hug and a missed kiss. Thank you so much, Ephesians, for helping us reach our goal. Chat from Detroit. Thank you so much. We only need 3 more now. 2 more. Oh, wow. Did I miss somebody? No, we only need 2 more. Oh, yeah, I did. I think I did acknowledge. All right. So Bishop Jakes gets this $6 million money grab request. And he says, hell no, I'm not paying you anything. And I'm going to sue you. Okay. Now, of course, before all this, after Dwayne Youngblood went on to Larry Reed and did a part 1, part 2, even Larry said they were coming out with a part 3, 4, 5. He asked for people to call him if they have any information or any stories in regards to Bishop Jakes. But before he can start all the parts, the lawsuit came. So, and then Tyrone Blackburn sees the stuff going on online. He hits up Dwayne Youngblood, says, hey, you have a case. So here we are. And we all know that Tyrone Blackburn is kind of an ambulance chasing type of attorney. He was with the T.I. stuff, T.I. and Tiny stuff. Of course, that got thrown out. He's just a little suspect, in my opinion, just a little suspect. But at this point, well, let's get to the denial. What's up? He pulled me into. Yeah, that's right. He pulled me into himself. But then remember, it was another part. They said it was kind of a bear hug. It was an aggressive hug. First, it was he pulled me into himself, and I don't know how you would hug without pulling the person into yourself. That's what a hug is about, So it is what it is. You wasn't expecting me to go live from Amsterdam? Why not? Why not, JP? What's up, Courtney? So, and this is where we're at now. So after going back and forth with figuring out, is this going to go through? Is this lawsuit going to fly in the courts? Then they come back with an anti-slap. Oh, now we're going to get money off of you because you bringing this frivolous lawsuit. Now, I don't know what a frivolous lawsuit is when you're pretty much asking for $6 million, or you're going to keep spewing your story out to the public. So I'm not sure what a frivolous lawsuit, and why, and Larry Reed and some others have called Bishop Jakes dumb for bringing this lawsuit. Tyrone Blackburn has been on other people's platforms, talking TD snakes and Diddy parties. You just try really, really unprofessional type of behavior for an attorney. But hey, do you, buddy? Because I believe, this is my belief. I believe that, and of course, the lawsuit has now entailed the podcaster, which is Larry Reed Live, or Larry Reed of Larry Reed Live. So there's a whole list of potential co-conspirators that may now be listed. May now be listed. Leah says, I think Jake should not have been gotten above the venom, but I understand his team took 90 months, but they reversed prison. Let me tell you, a lot of people, say, why go through this? Why go through this? But how long? Now we hear of a collaboration, a business collaboration that TD Jakes is a part of that seems to have stalled. And of course, the economy's bad, but not doing as well as we expected. But could it be because of this lawsuit that things are stalling for Bishop Jakes? So you have to attack when you've been attacked for so many years. Now we know. Now the thing about it, we can sit back and we can act like we have not listened to videos with bloggers coming to us with accusations against Bishop Jakes. We can sit here and we can, act like we ain't heard about peach cobblers. We ain't heard about money payoff that he supposedly paid people off. We listened to the Manasseh story, and now Manasseh is nowhere to be found in regards to this lawsuit or TD Jakes or anything. Bishop Jordan is nowhere to be found. Bishop Jordan and Larry Reed are no longer in association anymore. And let me tell you this, since the judge has, let's see here, let's just talk about this. And y'all can get your opinions ready if y'all want to come up and have an opinion about this, okay? Let me see, is this going to work today? This stuff works some days, and now that I'm out of the country, I tell you, let's see if it'll work. What's up, Penny? What you say, Penny, before the stuff is coming? For some reason, it won't let me super chat, but I'll keep trying. Oh my God, it won't let you super chat? I drove up to Amsterdam yesterday, the last minute for the... Oh, did Usher was here? Oh, wow. I didn't know Usher was here. Y'all hit that like button. We only had 54 likes. Come on, y'all. Let me see if it'll let me share the screen here. Share the screen. Share the screen. What's up, Robert? There we go. It's coming. What's up, Prismatic Starlight? Thank you so much. Let's just read this. And this is Thomas Dexter Jakes plaintiff versus Dwayne Youngblood defendant. All right. Honorary William S. Stickman the fourth is the judge. William S. Stickman, United States District Judge. Plaintiff Thomas Dexter Jakes brought this action against defendant Dwayne Youngblood and 10 unidentified individuals, collectively defendants. At Court 1 brought against Youngblood, Jakes alleged that Youngblood engaged in a libel per se. At count 2, I think I said Court 1, but it's count 2, brought against all defendants. Jakes alleges that defendants engaged in a civil conspiracy to commit defamatory acts. Youngblood filed a special motion to dismiss pursuant to Pennsylvania's anti-SLAPP statute. For this reason, okay? So, so the anti-SLAPP, let me go back here, and I want to, let me take this off the screen. I want to present, stop. Let's bring up this other one here. Y'all hit that like button for me. Teresa Halberton, thank you for coming through. Let's see. Darnita. Hey, Darnita Williams. Thank you. I sure hate I can't see. I won't be able to see you, but you get your stuff together. It's very important. You get your stuff together. And see, so this was the order of the court regarding the trying to get it, now Tyrone Blackburn and Dwayne Youngblood wanted to get it dismissed. No, don't get nothing dismissed. Y'all wanted $6 million. Let's continue. Let's continue. Go for what you know. And the order of the court, and now this 25th day of April 2025, it is hereby ordered that the Youngblood special motion to dismiss pursuant to Pennsylvania's anti-SLAPP statute is denied. It is further ordered that Youngblood's request to file a counterclaim against Jakes is denied as moot. And Youngblood's motion to file a counterclaim against Jermaine Jakes, a non-party, is denied without prejudice. The thing about it with this deal, as reading the documents and just kind of getting a feel of what the judge, where he got his decisions from. First of all, Jermaine Jakes is nowhere. He's not even in this lawsuit. If they wanted to sue Jermaine Jakes, you need to go sue Jermaine Jakes. And if you want to do a counterclaim against Bishop Jakes, you need to do a counterclaim and sue Bishop Jakes. You don't have to ask the courts to sue nobody. You can just go and sue them, right? So looking at the documents and listening to some other, people talk about this particular issue and putting their spin on it as well. The issue, the judge had the main issue that he was talking about, the issue with this whole lawsuit and the anti-SLAPP. They didn't really speak to the issues at hand. Tyrone Blackburn said a lot of nothing. He said a lot of absolutely nothing. Thank you so much, Penny Ford. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. He said a lot of nothing. And we had always said that. Even, Marcellus and everybody would say he's writing these books, he's writing these dissertations that mean absolutely nothing. They said, come on, Yeros. Yes. So, of course, this thing, and let me tell you something. Can I tell y'all something? I told y'all I said it wasn't going to be dismissed, because you can't come out here and threaten to continue to defame somebody if you don't get $6 million or close to it. Everybody talking about it was dumb, it was this, it's going to be dismissed. No. And well, as we can see who we're dealing with here, in the beginning when we said sometimes things can be true, but it depends on, or sometimes things could be false. It depends on how it's presented in court and who presents it better. Tyrone Blackburn is up against some wolves. And if he don't go somewhere and get some help, everybody associated in this thing is going to hell in a handbasket. And they are going to be broke, just climbing their way out of this court catastrophe. So it doesn't matter at this point if we want to say the hug and the missed kiss was SA. In my opinion, it wasn't. Because there's a lot of accusations that, never forget, we're dealing with a 2-time convicted SAer in Dwayne. Never forget that. Keep that at the forefront. And it wasn't no kiss and a hug that he did to them boys. It was way more than that. He's sure been quiet, ain't he? Where your book at? Your book out? Huh? Where's your book, Wayne? What attorney is going to touch this? What attorney is going to get into the pig pen with Tyrone Blackburn against these attorneys that Bishop Jakes has? Thank you so much. Thank you for the flag. Thank you, Kevin. What attorneys are going to get in the pig pen against these wolves that TD Jakes? When you what did they say? Somebody say, I think I Am Human First said it on yours, but I said when you play dumb games, you get dumb reactions. And play silly games, you get silly. This is what you get. This is what you get. For months and months and months, Larry Reed went on his program and told us all about things that he was told. He says he was told about Bishop Jakes. We can't forget what we heard. We can't forget all of the accusations that we heard. I'm sure the attorneys have every video downloaded, ready for court. That's why I'm saying now it's getting real. It's getting real. Not too many days hence, I think some additional names are going to be added to this lawsuit, because I believe that the attorneys for Jakes have gotten their footing. I believe they know who they're working with. They got the full response from the judge, kind of know where his mind is, how things have to look, how things have to be presented. We understand that Blackburn ain't got much help over there. Blackburn is doing a lot of, things that are not even procedurally correct outside of trying to defend his client. He can't get procedures, in the correct order for the courts. He said that's why videos, it doesn't matter if videos are being redacted now, Courtney. They have them all. They have everyone. And the thing about it, and it's like, I don't have anything, I don't want to be bothered with, I wouldn't want to be around nobody like Dwayne, but I don't have a dog in the fight. But what I will talk about is what I've heard and what we've seen and heard. The fact of the matter is, we heard all these accusations come against Bishop Jakes for months. So we can't ignore it now. We can't say, well, that was then, and now we're having a new program, and we have a new format, and which is fine. Everybody pivots and do whatever you need to do. But the facts are, some of that is what led us to what we're at today. Because after, and I'm talking about things that Bishop Jakes put in his response already. And he named the podcaster Larry. Months and months of things being said. And like I told y'all, all that talk about people was paid off and people, if it ain't no real proof, all it is an accusation. Because listen, I gave you $10,000 for being in my ministry. You come sweep real quick, and I paid you $10,000, regardless of what the $10,000 or $20,000 was for. You can't prove that somebody was paid off because of some alleged sex act or something. You said you wonder if Blackburn will walk away being pro bono, and then the judge said ain't no payments being made. First of all, he came back with the anti-slap and asked for payment. When you came out here on people's platforms, running your mouth, talking about it was all pro bono. What you need money for? You doing this for free. You wanted the clout with Bishop Jakes? You getting all the clout you can't handle. And collars are being snatched and the dragon will begin. Let me tell you, the dragation that's going to happen, Leah, is going to be award winning. And as we see, it's not really, they are going to keep these folks in litigation and piling and piling and piling until they'll be going to come out begging for their supporters to support them. Tyrone may even put up a GoFundMe because they are going to need some money against Bishop Jakes. Again, who's right? Who's wrong? At this point, it wouldn't matter. How will it be presented in court? And how will the jury? What would the jury believe? Will they believe Dwayne Youngblood after all his convictions and his essay, verifiable essay? Or will they believe Bishop Jakes? Now, where's the people with the affidavits? We heard about the people coming with the affidavits. All we got was his brother, who had been barking that for years. And they done deemed him as, scorned, They put that jacket on him. He's just a scorned person who got rejected. They done put that on him already. Mm-hmm. They learned from me no. What's up, Jay Michelle? What's up, Angie? Mm-hmm. So we never received any affidavits for other people who had worse, Eddie Long. Remember we heard that one? This is worse. This is when y'all hear this, it's going to be worse than Eddie Long. Am I the only one who heard that statement? Because I heard the statement. Anybody else? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard that statement. That what we were going to be seeing coming out of the Jakes camp is worse than Eddie Long. Mm-hmm. They just crucified all them affidavits that they did. They just chopped them up. Chopped all them up. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all did hear that. Y'all did hear that this Jake stuff was supposed to be worse than Eddie Long. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. So this is where we're at now. And it ain't a whole lot to talk about, y'all. It's what we've been talking about already. It's what we've been saying. We will sit back and we will listen and assess what's presented to us. Because let me tell you, Tyrone Blackburn, you can go on he can go on a tour. He can go on everybody's they don't quite understand that going on platforms like this is not really it's not helping their case. Everybody talking but Dwayne. Everybody talking But Dwayne, he about the smartest one right now, huh? But everybody is obviously, pivoting and doing better things and trying to, even Larry is, taking videos down. Has he taken the Jake's videos down yet? Did anybody see that? Let me see. He said he would take videos down if you asked him to. Let me see. No, no, no. That one's not down. No, no. No, that one's still up. Let's see. Maybe let me go back further here. No, no, that's still up. Hmm. Hmm. Well, it's still up. Okay. When the abusers abuse, what's the name of it? When the abusers abuse. Okay. Huh. Dwayne know he has messed up. And the thing about it, he was in jail. What's up, Inspire? I made it. He was in jail. He had been in jail. He was sitting there in jail talking about, listen, I done messed up my life. Who can I blame this on? And who can I get some money out of for making me abuse children? Who can I do? Let me see. Oh, and then he goes on and looks at some stuff that Larry was saying, and he says, and then they have a conversation now. It will be interesting. Did anybody get the prison conversations? Did anybody get those downloaded yet? Do we know what those prison conversations have said? Emails or what have you? He's sitting in prison, figuring out a way to how he's going to get some cash when he get out. Well, this particular way, I don't think is working. Mm. Hmm. That was going on all along. That means the interview he did on TV was true. Jakes knew what was going on all along. Mm. You said, how dumb are they trying to fight Jakes with all the money? A lot of these people say they got money too. They say they rich. We the broke hoes. We the insignificant broke folks. So these people got money to fight Jakes. They got it. We're gonna sit back and see how they fight. They got the money. They got the cash. Because if some other co-conspirators get on the list, I would get another attorney. I wouldn't quite get Blackburn as my attorney. That's just me. I would go another way. Let him take care of Dwayne. But I think it's gonna be something. It's gonna be interesting because I still have the belief that they want to tie Blackburn into this extortion plot, alleged extortion plot as well. I think so. That's why he has to stay in it. I don't think he can actually. Now, if he backs out of being his attorney, can they come after him as a co-conspirator? Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate you. And you made it rain. Thank you for making it rain, Sean. Appreciate you. We met our goal. But y'all can keep giving, out of the abundance of your hearts. But I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I will drop the link. It is midnight here in Amsterdam. But I done got a second win. I think we gotta go figure out what we gonna do around here for the night. At least for a few hours. At least for a few hours, go get into some good trouble. Let me drop this link. where do you think this is going now? Has your opinions changed from when it started to where we are now? Y'all hit that like button, y'all. Y'all hit that like button. Has your opinions changed from where we started to where we are now? Are you still on team Dwayne? Are you still on team Jake's? Are you on nobody's team? Are you, where are you standing now? Join the membership. Y'all join the membership too. There you go. There's the link right there. Everybody wasn't expecting to come on live, but I'll catch the beginning. Yeah, thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. Where are you now? I can do a poll. Nobody team. Okay. 6 p.m. on the East Coast. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a nobody's team. I mean, I guess I choose the wrong words because it's really not about being on teams, but in regards to the lawsuit itself, where do you stand in regards to the information that we've received? Who would you give the win to? Simply Tasha said nobody. Ann Brock says Jake's. Angel says Jake's. Team Jake's because I don't like the way he was done. Okay. DJ says Jake. Okay, good. And the thing about it, and I don't think he was done fairly. I think it was a witch hunt on Jake's. It was a witch hunt that went on for way too long. And I think that he had to. Oh, there you are. Sorry about that. Hey, I'm sorry about that. I didn't even see you down there. What's up, Quiz Courtney?
No, you're fine. Hey, I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I wanted to say this. Am I echoing really bad?
No, you're good.
Okay, because I'm in the car.
Mhm.
Okay, so a couple of things while it's fresh on my mind. First of all, I did think that they were going to dismiss. I really
You
felt
felt
like,
I kind of felt that in your voice a couple of times when we would talk about it.
yes,
You were like kind of bordered, which is okay,
I'm Team Jake's, but
Mhm.
I felt like, okay, maybe there wasn't enough to sufficient enough to build a case is what I felt like. I'm
Mhm.
Team Jakes all day.
Mhm.
But that's what I felt like with that. But let me say this while this thought came through my mind when we were talking about videos getting taken down and
Uh-huh.
pivoting and
Mhm.
all this stuff like that. So, um 888 said that he called Jamal to apologize to him personally, which is okay, that's fine. But you need
Was
to
this
go around.
recently?
Yes,
Okay.
he said it out his mouth.
He
Now,
must want to get on Jamal's platform, his podcast. But go ahead.
listen. Now he need to go around there to what was that pastor name who he emptied out the whole entire church? That Andrea
Cousins.
Garrison story. Yup.
Cousins.
He need to go
That
around
is a
there.
thing that a lot of people are saying, Courtney, and it's coming up. That
Mm-hmm.
Cousins thing, what he destroyed that man, well, in the that people are saying that's what
Yes.
happened.
That is exactly what happened. He was telling people to leave his church and everything. That man probably over there at the Piggly Wiggly right now because
Victor
Larry
Cousins.
done
Yeah.
emptied his church out. And
Yeah.
other people's churches have been ruined as a
Mm.
result. Now, were we entertained just like the gladiator?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
were very entertained. We were very on Team Larry. We were very, yes, don't go over there. This guy is evil without really having receipts.
Without having any receipt. And we were talking about, we wasn't talking about a pastor preacher who was cheating on his wife.
Right.
We were talking about a pastor preacher who was probably just having a relationship with this woman. And where's Erica? Where's Garrison at now?
Child.
Wasn't she was promising Larry remember that whole thing? She was promising Larry money
And
and
then
she
they had
didn't
fell
come
out.
through.
Marcellus will probably have a little more information on that.
Yeah, I remember
Mm-hmm.
that. And Larry had complained about it, and it was the same woman that helped destroy Cousins and his church.
Larry, go around there to Dr. Cousins and Make it right.
Why apologize to Jamal Bryant? Jamal Bryant is still living his best life despite what was you said about him. Let's
Yes.
go and see about these other smaller ones that
Yes.
had their ministries destroyed.
I mean, tore down. It's a mess. But this Jake's thing, I'm
Yeah,
surprised, but I'm glad.
yeah.
Because I really felt like, okay, the judge probably just gonna let this thing go, and but
But it
no, I'm
sounds like a lot of the issues is because Tyrone Blackburn is incompetent.
mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's what it is.
But do you think
He's not
Mhm.
doing what he should. He didn't respond and he didn't present and he didn't fight the right things in the lawsuit. He went all around the mulberry bush and never made the main thing the main thing.
Right.
The judge couldn't. I mean, if you talked about this, I mean, just like Jermaine, you worried about Jermaine Jakes?
Listen, but let me ask you this. So do you think, because
Yeah.
I think that this thing has gotten more than what Tyrone thought it was going to be. Do you
Yes.
think he's going to try to slide out some kind of way?
The thing about it, it's a tricky situation, like I said. Say he slides out. I
Hmm.
believe that they believe that he's part of the conspiracy, though.
Right.
I
Right.
believe that Jake's team believe that Tyrone Blackburn is a part of the conspiracy. And I believe that's why he took on Dwayne Youngblood, even after he said he wasn't his attorney. Kick rocks. Go figure out how to serve him yourselves. Remember,
Yep.
see, there's a lot of things we can't forget, y'all.
Right.
They
They
want
want us
us
to
to
forget,
forget.
though. They
Thank you
want
so
us to
much,
forget.
Penny. Welcome to just missed you back in Frankfurt now. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you again, Penny. Penny, lighten up the chat. I appreciate you. But let's not forget some things that have been said, Courtney.
No, St. James, we're dumb. We 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 can't get on nobody level.
No,
All the
no.
things.
We're done.
We
Yeah.
stupid. We dumb. We have
And they want
amnesia.
to call us names and say we're against them if we are true thinkers and we analyze what everyone says. We
But the
analyze what you have said.
but the real thinkers are saying that we're not thinking correctly.
Right. I know. That's fine. That's fine. But because it won't what won't come out in the wash would what?
Come out in the water. Ain't that what it said?
Well, in the rinse. That's
Oh, the
right.
rinse. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up, Leah?
Hey, boo. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Leah.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy work. I'm shocked.
I
Mm-hmm.
think you are because see, my beautiful ladies here, my Courtney and my Leah, they like to be on the side of but it's
Now, hold
understanding
on.
it always allows us to think a little broader instead of just being cut and
Yeah,
dry.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's not
But
cut and
now
dry.
Prison Bay, I stood on business with Prison Bay. Prison Bay was not the poster child that should have been representing this entire
No,
situation.
no.
They
They
should
picked
have
the
had separate
wrong
dudes.
child. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Whether anything has been done in the past or in the current, we will never know, and this was
Yeah.
not the way to get anything out. um I'm really sad for people who really have been affected, if they
Mhm.
are out there, because
Mhm.
this was a complete spectacle. Like, this was
Yeah.
a poop show all the way.
Yeah. And you
I
picked the
mean,
wrong and you've been saying that from the very beginning that they picked the wrong poster child
yeah,
to
Prison Bay
put
was
out there
not it.
against Texas. Yeah.
That man literally went to prison and got out of prison and could not stop contacting his victims. That
Yep.
is not the person you put on display for something as sensitive as this.
No.
That's insane. And
Mhm.
Bishop T.D. Jakes is beloved by everybody. I mean, the slander, if you don't have concrete evidence, you might as well hush up.
Yeah. 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 And we've
So,
never seen, I don't care what anybody says, we've never heard or seen concrete evidence.
no, I
We've
haven't.
always been promised that it was coming. Everything was, it was a week, it was 7 days, it was 24 hours, it was 48 hours. but it never came to fruition.
No, receipts and affidavits are coming. Everyone just hold your breath. It's coming. And it's gonna be a
And we
hitter.
gonna
It's gonna be a
die.
heavy
We just
hitter.
gonna die.
You would say hold your breath, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I
see, that's
feel
my thing. I had a dream, Tashi. She said, "Has anybody checked to see why Youngblood is still free?" He's too quiet.
That's
Is he
just what
still
I was about to
free?
say. We
Uh,
I
haven't heard
mean,
anything different.
yeah, no, wasn't oh, that's a good question. Oof.
Why you
does
think he
he?
wouldn't be free?
Well, he's a
I thought he wasn't
violator.
supposed to be online and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
he's
I
a
guess
violator, though. So you can't really, you don't know if he's done something. He did it right after. How you go to prison and then get out and do it? That's you would think that would straighten you up.
yeah.
No, St.
Mm,
James and Leah. He was just sharing his story.
no, okay, and on a platform that he was just given a platform, right?
So
Right.
can we speak truth to something really quickly though?
Go
If we
ahead.
just gonna be honest,
Mm-hmm.
the title was intriguing,
Yeah.
and I have to be honest
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
because in the African American community,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it's
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, but I'm only speaking to what I know. In the African American community, you can be essayed, and the graper can continue on doing what they're doing, and we
Yeah.
create a lot of offenders. So
Yeah.
I'm not. I understand the thought process behind what Reed was trying to do, but this particular person is not delivered,
Right.
healed, or set free. And so going after Jake's was like the first strike. Why not just sell your books and go off of what you did? And admittingly so, you did it. You admitted to everything. So why not go off of that? Why build off of Jake's reputation? This is, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's like you took something that really could have healed, started a healing process in our community, and you corrupted it and made it something else.
In my opinion, when they sent that demand of 6 million, they put the icing on the cake what the whole issue was about.
Facts. You telling
They
the truth.
they just wanted that opportunity to get some money. What's up, Marcellus?
Hey, what's up? I'm coming to you live from the P.O. box. No, I'm playing. No, I just had to call you guys to say Andrea Garrison is somewhere trying to keep her kids, I'm quite sure. Because she was,
Mighty
Interesting.
God.
yeah, because she
Interesting.
was, yeah, her children's father was giving her hell at one particular point. So I
Mm,
assume he probably told her she needed to calm down all that mess she was doing, or he was going to be trying to take them kids away from her.
mm,
And so that I'm sure that's probably where she is. But wherever she is, I wish her, and the other wicked stepsisters well,
mhm.
wherever they may be. But
See,
I
I
just
didn't
came
really
up
get
here.
too deep
Go ahead.
into that story. I remember the Victor Cousin story. I remember her, but I remember after the Victor because she had floated into the Larry, and I don't know if Larry was trying to get with her or she was going to give Larry some money, and it got a little weird to me, and I never really followed much after that.
Yeah, all those things you mentioned were true. So what you just said,
Mm,
um,
okay,
it
okay.
was money. It was Larry trying to say, he was attracted to her, and God spoke to him and said that was supposed to be his wife.
Mm,
And that should
mm,
have been an indication to people right then that whatever God Larry was talking to, he was a little off because his God kept telling him all sorts of things. It just didn't even make any sense. Um,
mm.
but I think with this particular case, oh, by the way, I apologize. What's up? I am Courtney and Leah. How did I start talking without speaking to you
We
too?
Hey,
could have guessed.
Marcellus.
Hmm.
I'm
Hey,
sorry. Let me
Marcellus.
interject this. I'm sorry. Let me interject this really quick. Marcellus,
Hmm.
I'm so sorry for my quick departure and I didn't leave your platform appropriately and I didn't say too much. I had a lot going on last night, so I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem. You're good. You're good. And we all grown over there, so don't worry about it. I'm
Right.
good. We
Somebody
good.
asked, do you think the text message from Manasseh Jordan proved anything? Absolutely nothing. That
Nothing.
text message proved absolutely nothing. You can put pictures up against a picture. It didn't prove any. That picture against Eddie Long did. That's what I'm saying. Y'all got to understand what Bishop Jakes was going through. Do y'all forget that Larry put his picture up against Eddie Long and said that this man was doing the same stuff as alleged what they accused Eddie Long of doing?
He sure
And he
did.
was grooming Manasseh and all this, and not knowing that before that, I believe it was probably before that or afterwards, Manasseh bought him cars and stuff. So he was groomed and all. But again, we've never heard anything from Manasseh after that. Manasseh, we haven't seen a lawsuit. We haven't seen anything. Now, what they would tell you, like you probably to tell you, is Manasseh was paid off. Again, proof of that, if that was
That's
the
what
case.
he alluded to.
Right. It's
That's what we
always
all
been an
got from that.
assumption and an alluding to payola. And you think that Bishop Jakes shouldn't be able to come out here and say, "What the hell are you talking about? I'm tired of you running your mouth. I'm tired of you putting spinning these narratives my way. Yes, I'm going to sue you."
888, you might as well go on and send an apology that way too.
Yeah, yeah,
Run it by them people that's calling from Jakes's, what he
yeah.
say,
They
Jakes's
say
camp. You the
they say he's
middleman.
talking to people from Jakes' camp, right?
Go on,
Hold
send that
on.
apology.
Robert Jennings. First of all, the nickname is hilarious.
I know he keeps
but
calling you Bust Love or something.
but Kojic ain't got nothing to do with this. Leave Kojic out. Jakes ain't Kojic.
Right.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
leave us alone. We got
Yeah, that ain't got nothing. That's apples and oranges here. We ain't talking about Kojic. Kojic is Jake's is apostolic.
yeah, his roots is
Okay.
solid. He not Kojic. But you
Mm-mm.
right. I mean, y'all right. I am standing 10 toes on being corrected. And I personally still believe that, because the reason I feel like Jake should not have jumped in the mud is because he was being slaughtered by kind of like everybody. It wasn't
Yeah,
just our people that we know. It was TMZ, it was
but it was
Revolt,
only
it was
because of
Breakfast
all that.
Club, it was everybody.
But you got to remember all that AI people were putting together. They were trying to connect him with Diddy. He wasn't. He didn't come out after that. He let that stuff go. He let that stuff go. But he had the last straw was people trying to, in his opinion, extort him. And they said, Leah, they were going to continue to talk
And he
if
didn't
he
let
didn't
that
give
go.
them
Let's
money.
be let's be clear. He did not let all of them people go. TD Jakes is also suing Google. He's got a
He is.
lawsuit against them.
He
He's
is.
not letting all of this
Yeah.
go.
That is when I saw the anti slap being denied, and then I saw the other lawsuits that's coming down the pipe. It's more than a few. It's Google and a few others. I said, "Oh, he's coming." But see, this is what I came up to say. This case sets the press is going to be the precedent.
Yep.
And people are going to have to really be careful coming after these churches and coming after
Yep.
these pastors and coming after people. When you break a story, you're really going to have to do what a journalist does and actually research and
Yep.
find out facts, because just going off an opinion and saying allegedly is not going to work anymore.
No.
Jake's is about to tear down the house.
And he's going to go
Unfair.
precept upon precept, line by line. He's really going to do it. And the thing about it, that's why I really think he's going to put Larry in this lawsuit. That's my personal opinion. Now, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But the way the flow is going, because I believe still in the beginning, he doesn't care about Dwayne Youngblood. He wants to tear Larry Reed down.
Now, I want to ask this. I want to ask you all this. How? Now, technically, how can he include the co-conspirator into the lawsuit?
I think that the whole issue is he's trying to set it up that it was a whole conspiracy between Dwayne, Larry, probably Tyrone, to extort money from him. And they all started from prison, from the prison call from Prison Bay, as Leah said. It started from there. That's where the possible or the alleged conspiracy started, from a phone call from prison to say, okay, when you get out, we're going to blow this up. And if, possibly if he doesn't react the way we want, we'll send a demand letter for blah, 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 or we'll keep talking. That's according to what we've read.
And I'll add on top of that, according to my sources, Larry had been talking to his brother Richard and had Richard up on the platform long before Dwayne Youngblood came forward. And I was told that Richard Youngblood and Larry had a whole situation at one particular point before. So I'll be honest with you, it's going to be very difficult for them to connect all of these dots because they have purposely thrown everything at this but the kitchen sink. If they have the prison phone calls, that'll be helpful. If they have some of these other things, but you got to understand, TD Jakes has cyber experts on his team. These people are cyber experts. So whatever was on the internet and whatever people thinking that they was doing behind the scenes and nobody was going to find it or catch up to them, it's going to be very telling. I don't think TD Jakes would keep going this far if they did not have enough evidence to prove their point.
That's what I was saying. People said, "Oh, I just don't believe he would come this far just over an assumption."
No,
I think he has some actual proof that just hasn't been presented. Just like in the thing, he says he wanted Larry's, financial information, emails. They were wanted to subpoena all of that. So now, when everybody gets together to figure out how long their, what they call it, the discovery will be, and all that. So
That's
this
what I
is
was about to ask. Do you think that in discovery they will get those items from Larry? And because he is an
absolutely.
air quotes, but
at
because
this
he's an air
point.
quote journalist, isn't there something that he can do to not have to divulge that information?
I think he said something like that. He's alluded to something like that because I think he went back to the E. Dewey Smith lawsuit, and he didn't have to do something, or he didn't have to reveal
Oh, what a
something.
liar.
One of the
The
lawsuits.
man is a liar. He lost that case, St. James. Let me be very clear. Larry is not a journalist. He does not have journalistic credentials. When he goes into court, how is he going to claim that he is a journalist? He
You
is a
have to present the
vlogger.
documentation.
Right.
He's a
He's not a
blogger.
journalist.
Unless
He's an antagonist.
unless I'm missing. I'd never heard him. Well, I've heard him call himself a journalist, but I don't know if we actually have any documentation for that. But
But there was something that he said to where he did not have to divulge
mm-hmm.
where he got his information from.
And you believe that from
Yes,
Larry? I am Courtney.
Well,
I heard it too.
that's neither here nor there. It's a moot point because if the judge says he wants what he wants, then you have to produce it. That's all going to be up to court proceedings and if they go to trial, I guess.
I'm telling you
But if he
this.
claims a certain amendment,
He's not going to be able to if there's a way around that, which these attorneys obviously have found because the court proceedings and the order is pretty much it's kind of black and white. Like the judge is done playing. He ready to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. He's done with all of the back and forth with the affidavits and the talking, and it's time to be put on blast. And yeah, the judge will hold you in contempt if he want to see what he want to see. He will. You're not a journalist. You don't have a degree. You're not working for a particular company that will be able to cover you. So no, absolutely not. Point it
ABC,
out.
CBS, Newsweek.
You
None of
have
that.
there's no covering for you to get on YouTube and make accusations against a person.
And that's what I'm saying.
We learned
You
that with
can
Tasha K.
right. And you can just make any kind of salacious accusations against someone and just say, privilege.
Yeah, no.
That's how this works around here. The
You can
sad part.
definitely allude to, and you can kind of, I mean, there's ways to have the conversation. Larry has been very careful about how he words things. I will give him that, but I know that everybody stands in their position, but I feel bad for him because I honestly don't think that they saw this particular part of the story going this way.
They're prophets, Leah. They're
But see, I don't think that he's that dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Uncle Paul.
I don't know. I
So
don't know the man's knowledge. I
You
don't know
got it. Y'all are
whether
y'all,
or not he
Marcellus, are
walked.
they forgetting that we're talking about prophets and seers in right now?
Shut
Well,
up.
I
You
ain't
know
even gonna
what?
give you
James.
I
prophets and
almost called you
seers.
by
I'm
your
just
first
gonna
name.
say
Leave me alone.
we're talking about Larry Reed. I mean,
No,
to
he
content,
says he's a prophet.
but
And
So
they
wait a minute.
talk to dead people. They not that. Come on now. They not that
But
dumb.
to give him this much room and level of intelligence is astounding. First of all, Larry ain't that smart. He's not that bright. Let me
get up
just
here,
put it to you
get
that
up
way.
here, Hill. Get up here.
That's me, and I'm telling. That's just my saying. He's not that bright. And if he's not that bright, then he has definitely made some missteps. He's been telling us for over a year that this man was about to be sued through Manasseh Jordan. That was not a bright or intelligent thing to do.
No, no.
So I think, although I respect what you're saying, I think you're giving the man a little bit too much credit. But that's just me.
But
That's just me.
I have to go to the spiritual aspect of what they get a lot of their business from. You say he didn't see it. You feel sorry for him. No, why did God go on vacation, take a nap? What did God do that all of a sudden obscured your profitability?
Can I respond before y'all finish? Good grief. I'm just saying. I'm just saying this. I get what y'all saying. And y'all know I be reasoning. I like to see all sides of a thing. So I'm just saying people have reached out to this man about their stories regarding
Mhm.
this is not let's not make it seem like we haven't seen actual physical people come out and say that Jake's or his team or his daughters or this or that. There's stories that are circulating that have gotten traction on other um, websites
Yeah,
about the family, about abuse, about mishandling, about being able to quiet things with money. This is not the first time we've heard this. So I feel like while I understand where y'all coming from, I feel like maybe he got it in his craw to go after him because of things that he's heard from other people, and he
and
did what
you're
other
so right.
bloggers have done that got sued, and he got too
Yeah,
far invested.
yeah, he got. You know what? I don't know if a switch turned in his head after Carlton Pearson. But it seemed that Carlton Pearson thing really made him put it in high gear against TD Jakes.
No, remember he said he loved them. He was a part of Gideon's army, and he loves them with all his heart. Remember that?
And he was a Gideon lie. And I'm just going to tell you that's a Gideon lie. I don't believe nothing that comes out of that man's
Winston,
mouth.
does Larry love Bishop Jakes as he says he does?
Yeah,
Vincent.
I guess. I don't know. Listen,
Hey, Vincent.
I'm just trying to see all sides of this thing, and I don't fully believe any person is 100% innocent. There's three, four sides to every story. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Jakes has never done anything wrong.
I
It's
don't think,
just
and this platform,
prison
we've
bag was
always
just
said that,
not
Leah.
it.
Yeah,
Prison
we've
bag need to
always
go.
said
Yeah.
that Jakes is, we're not over here trying to give Jake some kind of Mother Teresa type of, covering. We know, but my thing is, when Pot's talking about kettles, we gotta have a conversation.
Well, damn. I'm gonna shut the hell up on that.
When it comes down to those against Jake's gonna always win in my book.
Yeah, yeah, because we don't have that documentation that is proven with Jake's.
Right.
But we got it with Youngblood, and I mean, even there's been accusations on Larry. Now we don't have. There's never been any um, court deals.
Don't
They've
bring that
gone to
up.
court,
No,
but
Lord.
you know what I'm saying.
That's a whole other can of worms there.
Mm, Even the day and earn very soon.
I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop off real quick. I don't know why y'all are up here on YouTube trying to gain clout off of Larry's name.
Oh my God!
Well, you leave that man alone. Stop.
Oh, Vincent.
Yes, for clicks and views.
Yeah,
please.
because can't nobody grow their YouTube channel without his name.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah. I also want to say, Pam, the intellect law is a fraud.
What?
I also want to say that Larry Reed is a child abuser, sexual child abuser. And I also want to say that TDJ's going to win. And I also want to say, what else? I think
My mouth
that's
is open.
Anybody else?
Vincent,
you've been
take
on one
that to
all
your
week.
platform.
The revival is over.
I want to say that.
Why would you say that? No. Why would you say that?
Thais lost his insulin shots, and that's why he's been.
I don't mention that over here. Vincent, don't be blowing up my channel.
I'm sorry. All right. Hold on. Not people falling off the chat.
No, they coming back. They coming back.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't falling off the chat to tell you messy. Messy. Ooh.
Think about it. It's like the Holy Ghost, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. The Father, a child abuser, the Son, an overweight, bedridden degenerate, and the Holy Ghost, a fraud lawyer, all come together as one to move us, the kingdom, forward. And we need to give these people the grace they deserve because they're doing God's business. All right, y'all have a happy Saturday. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And y'all be blessed. All right, bye.
Get the hell out of here, Vincent.
That rocking chair is diabolical. The rocking chair in the pink shirt is diabolical. He ain't right for that.
I don't believe Pam is no fraud. I just don't.
Don't she have a license to practice law?
She does.
She does.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Vincent being messy.
Listen, please. We don't need no whole week's worth of reading going on these YouTube streets. Please.
It wasn't me. Go over there to take it to Vincent. Don't take it to me.
Period. The views and opinions that were expressed. Please.
It was reported to me. Okay.
Right. Don't be like, and that Courtney Phillips. Don't do that. I didn't say that.
Listen, it is what it is, though. I mean, we just gonna have to all just sit back and see what how the lilies flow and grow. We just gonna have to do it. So, Marcellus, that Vincent Hill is a mess. He's going to be ready.
The Lord must have didn't want me to hear it because I couldn't hear a word he said. That's what took me out. Good. So I ain't hear nothing he said.
Good. Yeah, but listen, I mean, at this point, maybe so. I guess the judge is going to put in the stipulation as to when they're going to have their discovery motions and all that, when they're going to get together.
Well, you've got to go through the first stage. You're going to go through is your interrogatories. That's where everybody's going to line up all of their stuff, and they got to submit it to the court again. After they go through the interrogatories, from what I remember, then they go into the discovery phase. And then once they get, and the interrogatories might be inside of the discovery. I'm not a lawyer. I done forgot.
Yeah.
But I know that you have to go through that process. And then once they go through that process, then it's on and cracking. And then we're going to find out where the rubber really meets the road. Because keep in mind, everybody's got to prove their case. TD Jakes has to prove his. But Dwayne Youngblood, he ain't got no evidence. So
and he's having a hard time even, proving anything. His steps are not ordered. He's really having a hard time even sticking to the main thing and defending the main thing. He's all across the board. And I think that's where he's going to misstep. And he may lose. Well, he may lose just with that. They may just, like I said, they're going to litigate him to death. And they're going to paperwork him, and he's not going to be able to respond correctly. That's how he's going to lose.
Do you all
And the
think
Lord said, his
Blackburn?
name shall be called Loser. Go ahead.
Do you all think that Blackburn is going to get help?
He's going to have to get help, because if he continues the way he's going, he is going to lose this case. If he continues to present evidence, his form of evidence, the way he's been presented it, he is going to lose. Now, my thing is, who's going to come on aboard is the question.
Well,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
They
who gonna sue
displayed,
Jakes?
yeah, they
I,
displayed who Jakes has. These people are really good, reputable, advanced attorneys.
how do you get additional help, Courtney? I feel like I don't work too hard for these types of questions. St. James and I've been plowing and plowing. Now, Courtney, wait a minute. How do you get help when you work in pro bono? You
Yeah.
working for free. How do you get
That's what
help
I
Who's
when
going
said
you
to
in the
pay the
comments. I was just
attorney?
asking.
Yeah, who's
That's
going to pay now the attorney that you need? You're going to get another attorney to so-called be paid pro bono. Nobody's going to go be paid pro bono up against Jakes. You crazy?
Yeah,
You
good
okay.
know
Let
how
luck.
me ask you
broke that's
this.
going to be?
All right, let me ask you this. Do you think that Youngblood would do a GoFundMe?
Ooh, child, that'll backfire.
Absolutely.
That would
Absolutely.
backfire. That
That'll
yeah,
backfire.
yeah. That wouldn't be the smartest move. That would not be a smart move. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Listen, listen. Well, I know I'm a little prematurely, but he better wait to see. Wait to see who these other co-conspirators are, and maybe their attorneys will help him.
GoFundMe and gonna backfire. That'll tank his entire public view. Because right now, there are people that support Prison Bay.
Mm.
Could I get a list?
Yeah, actually, I could provide a list. I
And
really could.
who's gonna want to give money to a tier 3 sex offender? Who's gonna want to
Right.
do that and
Now wait.
donate
Now
to
There
him?
go
are
in some of
people.
those. I tell you, go in some of them comments
Yeah, there are
on the
people
other
Mm.
that
side.
support that. I'm just saying.
It's
I'm
amazing
really
some of
not
the
trying to be
comments that I see.
biased. I'm just saying there are people that support that. So, I mean, I don't public opinion at this point don't mean nothing to me anymore. That's why I said I wanted to wait to see what the court documents was. I think I was bugging Chris about it. Like, did they
Yeah,
respond
you know,
yet? Did
but
they
I was
respond
like,
yet?
we all waiting.
Because I want to see what the judge has to say. Because at the end of the day, the only thing we can go off of is facts at this point. And right
And
now, the
see, and
judge
that's
has
what,
deemed everything non-factual.
but I think that's where they get pissed off at us, though. When we go off of facts and we don't just go with, we don't allow other people to form our opinions in our head. I don't want Jakes to form my opinion, Dwayne, Larry. I don't want nobody to form the opinion. I want to go off of what's being presented to us and actually analyze it that way. And according to what has been presented to us, they are in trouble on the young blood side.
Yeah,
Anybody associated with him is in trouble.
yeah, you telling the whole truth. I'm corrected. You guys, not very often do I apologize, but I apologize to y'all because I sure was like, Jax is stupid.
Mhm.
He shouldn't have got in the mud with Vermin. Prison Bay don't even deserve his attention.
Jordan is over there with Zoe Ministry saying we ain't got nothing to do with this. That's what Jordan is over there doing.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody done.
there it is.
Okay, so
Let
then
the
what's the
let the
prediction?
gatherings begin, huh?
Yeah.
So then what's you all's prediction? Okay, you predicted that the judge is not going to dismiss the case.
And it
So
happened.
yeah, so what's your next prediction?
We're going to start seeing some more the co-conspirators being named.
Who are they?
Well, I believe, according to the documents that they've already presented to us, we know at least one of them is Larry. And I have a sneaky suspicion. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the legal thing in regards to putting an attorney on there as a defendant, but if he drops out, I believe he will probably be named as a defendant.
And that's why he's never going to drop out. And
Exactly.
that's and I'm going to tell you,
Exactly.
Because remember, he wasn't on this lawsuit at first. Remember,
No,
because
he
he
wasn't.
told the judge and he told everybody, I'm not Dwayne Youngblood's attorney. Y'all
That's
forgot
what he
that?
said. That's what he
Remember,
said.
he said he didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And then when he found out that TD Jakes was gonna go ahead and move with this court case, he
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, I'm his attorney now." And you know why
Mm-hmm.
he jumped on that, in my opinion, is so that he would not be named as a co-conspirator
Yep.
because he's already being investigated, from what I understand, and the Googleations done said, for
Yeah.
some violations. So these people is all messed up.
The New York court system give Blackburn hell because and according to this judge in Pittsburgh, now he got another court that's saying he's just not doing things according to how he should do it. So yeah, I think that's the prediction. I don't know. A few days will tell. I don't know if the people will be added before they talk about discovery and stuff. I don't know, or after. I don't know how that goes, but no, the
I predict
lawyers
the
that
judge
he
gonna
has.
start holding people in contempt because he's sick of
Yes.
everybody. His
Yep.
his order was very clear and
Hmm.
to the
Hmm.
point.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was sick of the. I'm sure he was irritated reading those affidavits. He's
Oh
sick of
yeah,
everybody.
because those affidavits were ridiculous and stupid. The lawyers that he has in Pittsburgh are only lawyers that put their name on the thing so he can actually practice in Pittsburgh. That's the only they're not, as we can tell. Ain't nobody read nothing he put to the courts. Ain't nobody gave he did it all on his own. All they're just putting their name on the deal so he can practice there in Pittsburgh. They don't have nothing to do with this case. And they're not getting who gonna pay him? Larry said he wasn't paying for nobody's attorneys.
Now, I don't know if he starts continuing to make missteps. I don't know if he could put those people's licenses,
That's
uh,
what I'm saying.
in jeopardy. So they might end up having to step a foot in there because he might end up doing something wicky wacky and making them have to come out of the woodwork. But I don't see that happening. I would see them removing their license from the case and telling him to kick rocks, as you say, Cletus. I would see him saying, you got to go, buddy. And so that part I could see. But overarching, you all, this is not that difficult of a case. This really isn't that hard. Now, it
Yeah.
might be hard for TD Jakes to prove certain things, but on the Dwayne side, ladies and gentlemen, we can clearly see he don't have no evidence. And I know, Leah, based on what you just said, the judge was pissed because all the affidavits that were submitted, except for one, was submitted by criminals.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy work. For real. For real, for real. Like not one person.
Yeah.
All,
Yeah.
all and the one that's not is related to. Oh man.
Right. Right.
That would piss
Yeah.
me off if I was a judge and I had to sit and read all that. And then the discovery comes and that's what it is. Oh
And the thing
God.
about it, and the affidavits we were promised, or we were assured that were coming, were affidavits of people who had worse dealings with Jakes than Youngblood did. Worse, more horrible. That Eddie Long, worse than Eddie Long, and those never came. And we are the bad people that question your words because they never came to fruition.
Get it right. We the slop bucket vloggers. I'm a slop
I
bucket
was about to
vlogger.
say that.
I ain't no
Because we,
vlogger, but it's cool. I don't care what I am. I see what it is. And that's
yes, you
exactly
are. You
Sean
just don't.
Talk said I'm retired. Sean Talks is saying exactly what I'm saying. I predict that the judge is going to make a clear example and this is
Mhm.
going to be held up because right now people are well, I would just say for now we're talking about pastors, so we'll keep it within context. Pastors are
Mhm.
fighting back. You can't just
Yeah.
break a story on these men and
Mhm.
put all these accusations out there based on a scorned woman or a scorned this or a scorned
Right.
lover or whatever and just run these stories on people and they not fight. These pastors are fighting back and the problem with this case is that Jake is the biggest fish. He's the shark.
Yeah.
He's the whale in the pond. He's the whale in the ocean. What are we doing?
I'm sure Marcellus is like me. I get emails probably a couple of times a week of people in their stories that they've been that, and as soon as I say, and I always, reply with, can you give me a case number so I can investigate and check out the police report and things like that? Well, we don't have any. Well, what do you expect me to do? Come out
I
here
got
and just start accusing people, and there's nothing actually been in the courts? I don't
Saint James.
understand that. And then I'm
I
out here to cry, and y'all sitting there talking about, oh, what a shame. He done got sued. What a shame.
have.
I'm
I got a
nuts.
question for you, St. James. Have you gotten an email regarding EJ and Lovie and them? Because I got somebody that emails me almost every other day about EJ and Lovie. I get
About
an email
I get
every day.
I get an email from someone who hates Maggie. They call her a witch and a warlock.
I bet you it's the same person. What you want to bet?
And the emails are so long, and they have a horrible they cannot stand Lovie's wife, Maggie. And I'm like, I don't know
They
if it's
can't stand the
Gigi.
winner. She's the winner. What the world? How you don't like the winner? That's crazy work.
Listen here, I
But
don't
what
know
did
who it
she
is.
win?
I can tell you. Let me tell you. Let me show you. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm going to show you real quick. They email me, and they have a full dissertation. All this about Maggie. All this about
Dang. At
Maggie.
this point, you need to
And
just go hug and kiss Maggie because
yeah,
it seems
yeah,
like you're
all
in
this,
love.
more. And this is all about Maggie
I
Elias.
guarantee you it's the same person. And now they
Yeah.
mad at me. I got an email the other morning to say, to all the vloggers, if you don't respond, I'm gonna keep sending you the emails until you do respond. I said, well, good Lord.
Yeah, the title of this one is Maggie Elias is a blow pop Jezebel opposite prophetess that attacks
Blow
true
pop is
women.
crazy.
Right.
What? 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 Uh-uh.
Listen here, it is like they inundate me with this stuff all day long. Y'all think I'm playing? I get these stories of the stuff. Some of the stuff that William and other people get, people come to me as well. But I let them flow with them. You see, he was over there fighting with the quartet people. Someone had sent me that story. I didn't care about that man being with the woman. When he was 18 and 19 or something, and a picture got out. What am I going supposed to talk about? And man, 27 now.
Are
She
they
wanted to
anonymous?
blow his pop. That's all she
Yeah,
wanted to
the
do. She
anonymous.
blow his pop, and she mad because she don't get to blow his pop no more.
She didn't get that. Yeah. So all
She
this
wanted them
stuff.
kickboxer legs.
They said the opposite prophets. That's what they said. A blow. It's
That's
the
crazy
titles
work.
for me. It's the titles for me. Yeah. Yeah. But if we reacted off of all this stuff, if you have an opinion, if you don't like Lovie, if you don't like Larry, if you don't like Bernard, if you don't like Maggie, whatever, I don't care. That's fine. You don't have to. Don't support them if you don't like them. Don't give them your money. Don't go to the church services. Don't give them a click and a view if you don't like them. And it's settled. You thinking you're coming out here to save the world because God has put you in a place where you need to save everybody from all the witches and warlocks. Why are you so special? Get out of here.
Well, don't forget about the owls. You done left out the owls. It's the witches, warlocks, and the owls. I'm just saying.
Who?
Oh my
Who? I've been
goodness.
wanting to say that every time in the house. Who? Who?
They have a thing on TikTok.
Oh
And
God.
did y'all see that thing on TikTok? They said that somebody said they said you act like an owl, and then the person says who, and then that's the thing, and it's on
Yeah,
TikTok.
Exactly. Every time y'all do that, I want to say that. I just want to come up and say it.
And the juju trees. There you go, Katrina. The trees are juju. Everything is my Cash App working? It should be. I got some Cash Apps. The St. James Show at att.net or St. James Show, or even Church Sector. Put that up for me, Inspire, and I'll it'll be there. It's scrolling across the bottom there. It should work.
I can't lie to you, St. James. If Lovey dragged them other ones, I'm gonna be weak on that too. I'm a holler. I don't know
What do
what
you mean
that's gonna
drag them?
what results that's gonna yield. I don't even know.
Oh,
I
and
don't even follow it close enough.
EJ over there trying to get a GoFundMe for him. No. Go to the people that were in your chat. Tell them to give you about $1,000 each, so you can fight Lovey. Now you had a lot to say.
Now, I was gonna say, somebody please go around there and tap him on the shoulder and tell him the judge does not care about how much juju this man has done.
He don't.
He's
He
the master
doesn't.
warlock.
He doesn't.
Y'all need to come up with a different game plan. Now, don't email me about that because I'm not a content creator.
Go get your email address and start telling you.
Please don't come in
these
my
people
inbox.
think they're going to go in court and litigate witchcraft.
You
Good
can send
luck.
it to me. I'm gonna hit Lovey up and send it right to him. Hey, Lovey, this person said this about you.
And I could have you maybe dipped in Lovey's DM and said, but it wasn't. I'm not here to bring some. They talking about his wife. These people are. I'm not going to. These people are got their agendas, and it can be another Gigi that's sending me that. Because she's pissed off that Maggie got the golden goose, a golden egg.
She did not get no golden goose and no
Well,
golden
listen,
egg. Come up off of Gigi now.
But they acting like he's the golden goose by not just moving on.
This is true.
Hold on, how she didn't get the golden goose or the gold? He was the one that was highly sought after, so he was the golden goose.
Yeah.
No, but if you have to be miserable to be a part of his
hold
world,
on, Courtney, hold on. We don't
I'm
know that daughter
assuming
is miserable. We don't know that.
Well, now
we don't know. Daughter be prayed
so we don't
up.
care about the receipts.
It don't matter what the other women say. The main woman be prayed up and she's in that camera. We don't know that she's miserable. That's not fair.
Well, them text messages say she was getting her tail beat and she was unhappy. That's what EJ showed everybody. EJ said the text message wasn't happy.
EJ need to go and raise more than 19,000, and he got about 70,000 he looking for. He had 19,000 now. So all that accusations that they throwing out there, make sure you gather that all up, and when you go to court, make sure it stick.
I need
EJ, don't let them hush you.
No, keep on talking then, EJ.
Shut the hell up, EJ.
No, keep on talking.
Don't let them hush you, EJ.
You the man of God, a true man. Ain't he going by Pastor EJ now? He ain't doing prophet no more. I heard that.
Fight for people's spiritual freedom.
You know what, Courtney? You can that.
Y'all leave EJ alone. He the only preacher I know that preaches in his house slippers. You go, EJ. EJ was up there with his house slippers on. I said, good God, that's a definite anointing right there.
But you got these folks like him and other ones who want to come against, more powerful people than them, whether it be powerful in influence or powerful in money. Listen, you got to deal with the consequences. You pick the fight, and they are saying, okay, let's go with it. Let's go. The whole story is annoying all of them. You like all them prophets, Prophet Passion, Java, Lovey, EJ, all of you like it all, right?
I believe this EJ is going to be like this Sanders boy. Everybody, he didn't make it in the first round. He didn't make it in the second round. He didn't even make it in the third round.
Did he
but
finally
in that fourth round, in the NFL draft, they went ahead and grabbed up Deion's son. I'm just saying.
That's Shadir, right? Did he finally make it in?
Nah,
he finally made it in the fourth round.
Oh, he made it in the fourth round.
They don't liking that. Yeah. They don't like that. Wow.
That's really unfortunate, though. I do understand where everybody's coming from, but that other situation is a little different, though. These are apples and oranges when it comes to Jakes and Lovey. The situations are way different.
They are different. They're different.
But other lady's out here on social media kicking Lovey's butt. Y'all ain't seen them other videos? You got some work to do, St. James, when you get home.
The white lady?
The white lady kicking.
Oh, that's
let me tell you something, though. Let me tell you something about that. I don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because these people followed that man until it just wasn't beneficial for them anymore. Now everyone has a story. I'm not interested. I'm really not.
But Jax wasn't on the payroll like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, what did she really benefit? She was just a air quote spiritual daughter. She didn't really gain anything from being in his presence.
She flew on the airplanes, the private jets with them, with Java and all them. She did all that, and they enjoyed what they were doing until it wasn't enjoyable anymore, until they got pushed to the side. That's my opinion.
She was in the network. Come on, preach it.
She was in the network. She got all the benefits of being in the network
Let me
until
tell
the
you.
benefits aren't available anymore.
Let me tell you something. The person that is wiping your brow and putting your water up there when you get through preaching, and rubbing your shoulders and walking with you when you praying for people and got their arms around your waist and holding you up like they undergirding you, then be the ones that turn on you the quickest.
Yeah, yeah. The ones you put all your attention to, you shared your most intimate thoughts and feelings with, the ones that you wanted to really mentor them and get them to where them Negroes will turn on you in 2.2 seconds given the opportunity.
Well, that all sounds nice and good, but as somebody that's been next to some of these ninjas, let me just simply tell you this. The person that is wiping your brow, that's holding your side while you in the doing the prayer and holding you up and all of this other stuff, sometimes takes the most abuse from you and
That's
has to tolerate all sorts of stuff from you and watch you lie to the people of God and watch you say a whole bunch of mess that ain't right. So there's two sides to that coin. There are some people who genuinely do it and they don't mean to be harmful, but then there are other ninjas who are out there who are harming people and doing things that they should not be doing, and people still keep their secrets.
Leah, could you rub
Marcellus,
up
huh?
Leah, could you
Huh?
rub Marcellus's back?
Listen, I'm over here. I'm consoling him right now. I'm about to hold
Consola,
on.
thank you, Leah.
Marcellus, I 100% agree with you, and there is no but to that. There is just an and I say, if you find yourself in that position, that's when you walk away. You don't get on the internet and you don't slander, because there are other people that are involved and it's a bigger network than you. But that's also according to how you're taught. I was taught old school. I was raised up under a different type of teaching. And my old school pastor did not believe in familiarity. My pastor didn't believe in becoming um, too common with
Yeah,
certain individuals, because there is a business aspect to ministry and there is a messy aspect, and everybody is not built for that. It just is what it is. So
yeah.
to what you're saying, I agree, but walk away. Why you got, unless you want a payday or unless this person has physically assaulted you or something like that,
Oh
don't
Lord, oh
don't
Lord,
stick
Leah.
around. People stick around though. I get what you're saying, but people stick
I know
around
you get what I'm saying,
for
But
but
the
I'm
see,
gonna
and
put
show.
but
another
like
dynamic.
They stick around. They keep getting abused. When I went through that, St. James will tell you I crashed out. And when I went through
ooh,
that, I did not
she did a good crash out too, baby.
viral to this day. But
Monumental.
I did not stick around. I walked away. You're not going to abuse me and keep on abusing me, and then I'm gonna walk back up under that abuse. Absolutely not. That's why I
Yeah,
don't be wanting to listen to some of these people, because you stand for, like, I do respect what y'all say about Gigi, because I get where you're going with that. Staying for 3 years and then claiming abuse is crazy work. Baby
she
girl,
don't
I
you
even
knew
got
understand
that.
what
exactly
you're
what you
saying,
were
Yeah,
Leah.
doing.
she got
I
Two
a
get
hit.
what
things
you're
can be
saying.
true at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm about to add you another element to this. It's hard to
Mhm.
walk away when your income depends on you staying. And it's also hard for you to walk away when all you know is ministry and all you've ever done is ministry. If you don't think what I mean is true, just go ask Ted Haggard with his messed over self. When Ted Haggard did the crap that he did, a little bit different, but Ted Haggard was out there selling insurance and putting hangers on people's doors. If you ever saw that, because and he's degreed, but all his degrees are in church
Yeah,
entity. And
yeah,
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
nothing. He had nothing else that he knew or that he knew that he could do. So I get what you're saying, Leah, and I agree, because there's a lot of ninjas I could lay out on this here internet. but I
But you know
haven't
what?
done it.
You know what I want to speak to though, Marcella, because you had said it before. You were talking about how there, there's a way to really do it. You can do it the V Hill way. You can do it other EJ way. You can lay out your plight, your story. But there's also another way to do it. You can do it without naming names. You can, if you really wanted to save the folks, I mean, you can be indirect with it, but really some people will know you're talking about when you're coming and you're putting these people's names and faces on your videos, that's where you're seeming a little, you were complacent for a while, but now you're ready to call everybody a warlock. So
That don't get subscribers. What you just said don't get
and that's the thing
subscribers.
too. That's what we got to look at. Right. It doesn't. It doesn't.
But so, okay, so let me ask this. So then why can't someone name out their abuser?
Well, the thing
You
about
can.
it, you can do whatever you want to do, but can you name out your abuser if they've done like a really legal abuse to you so you can get them in the court system? That's the thing about it. We can talk about spiritual abuse, we can talk about actual physical and all that type of abuse, which is real abuse. But in the times that we live in now, these social media times, and everybody is attorney and court happy, if you are not related to a court case or anything, then you're name them, but just going to come with consequences, unfortunately.
Well, if you do name them, since I've been doing this for so long, may I suggest to you find it on a blog, find it on a
Mm-hmm.
website, find it
Mm-hmm.
in some other place, and refer to that as your point of reference.
Yeah.
Because normally when I tell stories, as long as it's public, oh, I'm going to talk about it. You can be mad all you want to, but I'm not going to dig in nobody's digital trash can to come up with somebody's COVID test so I can tell you the real reason why they're doing what they're doing is because they got COVID and they're a
Mm-hmm.
super spreader. I'm not doing all of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
What I am going to do is I'm going to tell you once the people put it out there and they start talking about it, then I'm going to talk about it.
Can I say this though? Okay, I have to be careful how I say it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is this is a layered conversation that we typically do not have in our community, which should be had, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, if you're an abused victim, you should definitely speak out, and we should support those who speak out.
Mm-hmm.
But as an abused victim in the time that we live in, because of the clout chasing, you need to do what you must so that you can retain the facts of your situation. I.e., if the person is on you, you are going to have to find some gall to be able to record. You'll find that
Yeah.
a lot of women that are in the, if you serve, I don't know if a lot of people are in here, so I don't know who serves in the community or not.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go out and serve in the shelters, a lot of those women got out because after they were beat and children were beat and different things happened, what did they do? They started recording in their home, and they were able to physically prove that this person can be put behind bars. It's unfortunate that you have to do that, but, and I'm saying this with all sensitivity, you
Mm-hmm.
do have to be able to show the proof, show the text messages, show everything that you can to be able to get that person to be taken down. If all you have is just your story, you can certainly tell it, and there will be those that will agree with you, but you will have people that will not, because typically when you're taking down an abuser, they have supporters.
Right.
And it's
Right.
it's just unfortunate. It's a caveat that I don't really have a solution for. I tell women, if you're in a situation, record that sucker and don't play no games and go to the police. Stop going to lawyers. Why are we at lawyers
Right.
first?
There are takedown methods, and
Yeah.
I need to do some video lessons on how to take a ninja down without even getting your hands dirty. Some people just need to understand, like what you just said. Very true. The GG method is probably one of the worst takedown methods I think I've ever seen in my whole life. And then
Yeah.
EJ, I don't even know what EJ is doing. EJ just determined that nonstop he gonna put his foot on the gas. Which, you know what? He gonna drive himself straight to the prison, because according to Lovey, he going after him for criminal. He want criminal charges.
He said they're going to prison, Marcellus.
That's what he said. I just know what the man said.
But you know what? You have to think. I you know, y'all, I love my family too much, my daughter too much, to be fighting with somebody on the internet to start messing with our money. I'm not messing with our money over somebody that I believe is not a man of God or woman of God. That just ain't my plight there. For you to come in my house, now I got to spend money. I got to ask for GoFundMe. Instead of he got $19,000 in GoFundMe, you ought to be able to raise $19,000 to do something for your family. Now you got to raise $19,000 to get over there in the court and to defend yourself because you just want the world to know that this man is a warlock and he doesn't preach the Bible and he has owls circling your house looking at you. That's all you want the world to know. But you are willing to sacrifice your family's income for Lovey and whoever else. That's diabolical. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
That's the point. That's the main point in what I'm making is when you an adult and you get into these situations with these churches and stuff, there is accountability, and most people don't lead with the accountability. They lead with what the leader has done and what the
Yeah,
leader is doing and what the leader, and which is true. Lovey could be a completely despicable person. I don't know the guy,
yeah,
but you have to be accountable for wanting to be up under that, putting your money into that and serving into that. And after the first offense, we're not talking about you,
hmm
you saw it after 6 months and you was like, I'm out of here, and then you telling
yeah,
your story about it. That's a little bit more believable. But you sticking in there for 5 years, 10 years, that means that you are getting some sort of benefit. You can tell me
yeah,
about what this man is doing. And that right there is probably my biggest lesson in dealing with leadership, especially in the church. If I
yeah,
see something that I don't agree with, my boundaries have to be very clear. A lot of us walk around with unclear boundaries depending on what we receive in return. And nobody wants to just admit that.
yeah.
EJ or whatever his name is, you can't tell me that you followed this man for five
EJ
years, 10
uh,
years straight,
or
and
Group
then
Getaway, whatever
you
name,
just now, huh?
whatever name he's using today. He said Lovey is going to prison. He's going
Oh,
to
he
jail.
very well, but he very well may. You never know how these types of situations come out. You never know what criminal activities a person is in. But when you start seeing the criminal activity, you got to walk away.
You got to walk away. And you said, and my thing is, when EJ started recording, when they was going to see these witch doctors and stuff, you knew if you had, why did you have to record at that time? And how many times did you record after that? Because you stayed and still got them crumbs off the table. You know,
May I
them women.
interject this? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Let me say this about abuse. Just generally speaking, I'm not necessarily speaking to EJ or um, anybody like that, but I will say this. Oftentimes, we question people as to why they stayed so long when
Hmm.
we don't realize that it's not always of a benefit to stay. A lot of
Hmm.
times, when you're dealing with spiritual abuse, that is hard to, it's challenging to prove because it's not physical, right?
Right.
It may be, you know, the pastor had you're giving way too much and you feel like because this is your man or woman of God, like God is using this person, God is in this person, if I leave I'm going to be cursed, or if I leave I may not,
Yeah.
whatever, you know what I'm
It's that
saying?
spiritual side that takes over their regular common sense. They get so deep
Yes.
into the spiritual of it and that's what has led EJ and them to just go on and on and on because they're not thinking of common sense. They're trapped and they're so convinced with this spiritual aspect, but you can't carry that spiritual aspect into court once you are sued. But they get so wrapped up, just like people are giving him money thinking that he's going to go to court and prove spiritual malpractice.
Well,
Please don't make me laugh about that though.
Young Blood tried to take it spiritual in the courts. He put a whole bunch of scriptures and
Sure did.
He
paragraphs up in
did.
Dummy.
his response.
Dummy.
I'm just saying, and I need to correct
Dummy.
the record. Let me correct the record. When EJ did not record the witch doctor, he recorded the angels. They was on a 3-way phone call from heaven, and he recorded them.
That's right.
And that's
The
what he
angels
played
were
back to the
speaking.
people.
See what I'm
I'm just
saying?
saying.
They letting this spiritual stuff overtake them, and they're no earthly good because they're just now you're going into court and you're gonna lose. Youngblood losing, Blackburn losing. If Larry's on there, I believe he losing, and EJ is losing, and the Jacks
I
woman.
don't, yeah, Courtney, I agree with you on a new saint. Okay.
Right.
If you're new in this thing, yes, you can be manipulated. However, I have to, we have to be accountable for what types of situations. You have to be accountable for what type of situation you put yourself into, and you have to pay attention to what your leaders are doing. And if your
Yeah.
leaders are not doing what lines up with what you're supposed to be doing spiritually, then you got to walk away. Somebody has to start preaching that, because you can't just be blind and dumb sheep always following the wolf, knowing that it's a wolf. It's different if the preacher is hiding, but you can't tell me anything spiritual when you
Right.
sleeping with all of the women, and that is wrong.
I
But wait
You
a
totally
can't
minute.
agree with
tell me
you.
anything spiritual if you are stealing and robbing.
Somebody got an echo. Okay.
Is it me?
Yeah, I think we're good now. Yeah.
Robbing from the church. You can't, you at some point, I don't, is it, I may be wrong, because I don't like to get into the therapeutic side of it. I typically interview other people that do it for a living. But isn't that like cognitive therapy, like cognitive dissonance? Like, doesn't your, at some point, doesn't your spidey senses go off, and you say, this is not right? Like, if
Yeah.
you want to go to a church that evangelizes, but the pastor refuses to go out in the community, but he can preach good or he can sing good, you gonna stay even though the Lord told you to go out into the world and preach the gospel?
But when
Like,
you've been
at what point?
indoctrinated, when you've been indoctrinated in the thought of your leader is the mouthpiece of God, your leader, submit to authority, submit to your leadership, you know, those things that are heavily taught in the Black church specifically. When you, I don't care if you're 60 something years old, you'll hear older people say, no, I'm not going over there to visit that church because we don't church hop. And you know, you stay at one church and you get planted and you listen to that one pastor, which I agree to a certain extent. But what I'm saying is that there's so much indoctrination that you can't say that it's limited to a new babe in Christ. I think actually they're a little more hip now, but
Mhm.
it's really people who's been in this thing for a while
But
that is
The
that's my
sad part
experiencing
problem,
about it,
Courtney.
spiritual abuse on
Courtney,
a high level.
Courtney, that's my issue. You're
But I
ignorant.
agree with you though.
Yeah, not you personally, but you're ignorant, and you're willfully ignorant, because the
Mhm.
Bible talks directly against that, especially in the New Testament, that the Lord will pour out his flesh upon all.
Mhm.
Okay, your sons and your daughters will prophesy. That is not biblical. Okay, God can speak to you just like he can speak to your pastor. And taking scriptures out of context and then allowing somebody to teach you scripture out of context, that is a you problem. I had to learn how to get into the word for myself. If I'm going to take everything that I do from a pastor, then that means that I'm going to take everything I do from, say, my boss at my job, who doesn't really want me there. You know how to move when you at work. You know how to move in every single thing, every aspect of your life. But when it comes to church, you niggas is ignorant on purpose.
On purpose.
Absolutely
And,
not. We got to
and then
get
and
back.
then we and then
Oh,
we
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
cannot. We cannot. I understand, but we cannot give people passes just because it's been indoctrinated in them, and it's been because, like she says, every other aspect of your life you can have a clear picture. At your job, you know how to follow the rules. At your job, you know how to stand up for yourself if you're being wronged. But when it comes to the spiritual things, or your pastor, or that, all of a sudden you're totally oblivious on how to protect yourself. And we have to say, we can't just lean on the, because these is men And I know it's hard to realize that, but these are just men. Men make mistakes. Women make mistakes. We can continue to say it's a higher level because it's spiritual, but you better drag that stuff on down and make it more practical. Just saying.
Well,
I
I
agree with
hate to
you.
raise my little
No,
finger
go ahead.
here.
Yeah, I agree with you guys a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, mhm.
everybody gets a little bit of a word and something may change your life, but protecting your peace and protecting what God has given you, whatever your gifting is, that should be more important than a man of God. And I'll say this, Marcellus, I'm gonna give you the floor because I know you're about to come with the fire. But I feel like this. In today's day, no exception. Back in my mama's day and your mama's day and the day before that and generations ago when most of the people in the church couldn't read and they only had one or two people that could read for real. Yes. We are so far removed from that generation, not our parents, but I'm talking about us up here. I believe that everybody up here is at least 60 and under. You don't have no excuse to be willfully ignorant. You can go pick up the Bible yourself. You can go pick up a concordance yourself. You can look up Greek and Hebrew yourself. You can actually go to a Jewish temple and learn Greek and Hebrew yourself. You don't, nobody has to give you the information anymore. So how is it that you can let a man dog walk you with a collar on into your destruction? Absolutely not. Uh-uh.
Well, here's some of the ways that that could happen. The one way is that you're dealing with your own selfish desires and wants. Because see, what I had to learn years ago is that some of these people that individuals have in their lives are a curse to them because of their own bad motives and their own, selfish desires. Let's talk. Let's use it here. Gigi wanted more from Lovie than just peen. We'll put it that way, right? She wanted more. She wanted her business financed. She wanted her lifestyle financed. So it wasn't just about that part of the relationship. It was also the money aspect. So it was her desire to live a certain kind of lifestyle that also made her continue to submit to a man that, and I have to think on some level, she knew wasn't going to be with her, because why was she taking all of these pictures and trying to get this trail of breadcrumbs and evidence? Because she had to know on some level that this was going south. So that's one thing. Second thing is this. It is very, very difficult sometimes to pull away from a person when they are teaching you that having sex with them is spiritual. EJ just did a whole video on what they used to tell those women in order to get those women to lay with them.
And that's it. He's alleging that. We don't know, if we don't have any proof of what
Oh, well.
EJ is saying.
But if EJ is saying that's what he did, so he was in the clique with the
If
rest.
that's what he's agreeing that he did.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. He's telling you what they did and what they taught to them in order for them to take advantage of them. And it sounds spiritual. Leah, Mona Brewer, name I'll never forget, had a 14-year-long affair with Bishop Earl Park. Vincent Hill was with Larry since the time he was 20-something years old. He is now 40-something years old. Okay, those are just two examples of people who stayed with these people. Now, there was a whole lot of stuff going on there, and there's some nuance to it. But the point I'm making is, it is very hard to pull away spiritually from these people sometimes, because first of all, this is your spiritual leader. This is the person that you want to be accepted by God. This is the person that's telling you they have this great close relationship with God. So you're leaning on this person. Now, should that be the case, Leah? Of course not. Should they be reading their Bible? Of course. But most people, and you've been in church your whole life, darn well, Christian people don't read. They don't read.
It's not what, but as Leah
I'm
is
over there
saying,
cracking up because you told the
but
whole truth.
as Leah is saying, that's true. But the days and the times that we're living in now, we have so much available to us, and it's a different way of thinking. And yet, I know some people saying about people's vulnerabilities. Everybody has vulnerabilities, but But my thing is, people pick and choose who they want to be vulnerable with. and who they don't want to be vulnerable, who they're going to stand on a business with, and then who they're going to allow the vulnerability to go. But it's still, we can't give everybody passes just because they don't want to stick up for themselves in a certain thing. The times we live in now, different than, like she said, our moms and dads and stuff. I think people ought to really, really push that, trying to study for yourself so you're not wrapped up and trapped up in these church cults.
Agreed. And I agree with you, Marcellus, 100%. And of the people that you named, right? And I don't even have to name other people. I could talk about myself. The fact of the matter is in the church, we struggle with accountability. We just really do. You know what I mean? And Courtney, I agree with you with the vulnerabilities. Again, I'm not being combative towards you, anybody personally. I'm just saying we don't deal with we don't hold the wolves accountable. And then as sheep, we we uphold and undergird wolves, right? And then to top it all off, when we see the abuse and we recognize it and we know that it's abuse, we don't walk away. Why don't we walk away? The very people that you name, we could just talk about our dear, beautiful sister Gigi. She was the perks outweighed the heartache.
Yeah.
Until it didn't.
Until it didn't.
Flying on the jet. Yeah, exactly, St. James. Flying on a jumbo jet with a bed that lays down with the blankets and the headphones and the TV screen, and going to Dubai and going all of
possibly
these
a member of the Mile High Club. I don't know.
I'm just saying, and potentially about to be the wife. Had she have won and become the wife, we wouldn't even know of a Gigi story.
Right.
That's my thing. The corruption is not just from the top. The corruption is in the pews too, and nobody wants to speak to it. Everybody want to be a victim. You can still be a victim and have walked in head first. I'm not talking about children. I'm not talking about physical assault. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about when we get to this spiritual type stuff, you have to be very careful about how you start putting people out as a villain, especially if you were a willing culprit until you didn't get what you want.
Listen here, EJ. You can say we're defending. It's not about defending a criminal. It's opening up your mind and being a thinker. We're not believing everything that comes across our desk. If we believed everything that came across our desk about you, EJ, I think this is EJ, everybody.
That's why I was like, what?
then we would, if you would think we were bad talking about you, because it's not you and you want to call everybody else a criminal. Chill out.
What criminal are we defending? Did I miss something?
They
I don't
call
know what
Lovie
he's talking about.
It is like everything we're talking about, they're going to associate it that we're talking about Lovie. And we're just talking about across the board in churches.
Yeah, we're talking in general.
So chill out. Somebody else in the chat is getting on my nerves too. I'm letting it just go for a minute and see how long that's going to work my nerves. But go ahead.
I'm just saying corruption is corruption. And as a young woman, I'm not going to sit here and lie. See, a lot of us, I got to be careful because I don't want to be attacked by the ladies, but a lot of times women go after the pastors. You go after the lead musician. You go after
they do.
the praise and worship leader.
They do.
Because
why go after somebody, one of the deacons? You don't want that.
Right.
Oh, he got us some keys to the church.
Courtney, I know you're going to hate me for this, but I'm just saying, a lot of times why would you go after Lovie and he has a church full of eligible bachelors? Because he's at the top of the food chain.
Lovie went after her, though. Let's be clear, though. Lovie went after her.
She accepted, and she played along.
If Lovie came up to you, you'll accept it too, right?
Absolutely, but I'm going in eyes wide open, baby.
Okay, then.
Absolutely, eyes wide open. I am a single mother of 3. I need coinage before I can have a single conversation. I'm not even going to get in. Don't even come in my DMs without an offering. You hear me?
Hey, what's up, Shaquille? Yeah,
And
but you know,
my sexualizations is not up for sale. I'm waiting until marriage. Now that'll
All
back them off
right.
every time. That'll back them off every time. You
well,
hear me?
I see you later, Sister Leah.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll talk to you
What?
later, Sister Leah. Now,
Wait, where my prophecy? Can I still get my prophecy?
no,
We'll
no,
have
no,
one of them to pray for you.
yeah, but the bottom line, y'all, listen, don't people don't get so deep in it. Think about what we're saying. Yes, people are spiritually manipulated. That doesn't make everybody's a criminal. Is it the thing to do? Absolutely not. But there has to come a point, as Leah is trying to convey, you have to wake up. You have to wake up and you have to go the other way. And don't wake up after you've already benefited and ate off the fat of the land as much as you can eat off of. When you first see it, you say, I don't, then you see it again, then you leave. You don't keep seeing it, and then you start recording and documenting and having receipts just so at Mad Day you can come out and expose this person that you've been sleeping with for I don't know how many months or you've been dealing with for years. That's all we're saying. It really is. There has to be an accountability that you have to take upon yourself, and not just like when Gigi came out, well, I apologize anyway. Anyway, yeah, he abused me. No, expound on what you did and what you allowed and your participation in this relationship and where it went wrong and what you thought you ought to be. Do you think you should have been Maggie? Did you put in all the time? Expound on that so we can know exactly that you're just not out here trying to damage someone's character. That's all we're saying. Eyes
I
wide
agree with
open.
that.
Yeah. Uh-oh. They both of them knocked down. So you know what I'm saying? So I know when people come in the chat tell me, well, you're defending a criminal. When was he a criminal? Where was the documentation of a criminal?
You think that was EJ for real?
Yeah.
Would you let him up?
Yeah, I would. He can come up and talk, but
Who is this
usually
other person that's trying to come up?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, be careful because you know what folks have been doing as of late.
They will bomb you. William got porn bombed the other day. So I don't play that. No.
But I agree with everybody. For the record, it was just a little pushback to give another side of the coin, But I agree, we should take accountability if we're involved in abuse of any kind.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that is not ordaining the so-called abusers. No one's giving him carte blanche to do anything. But our thing is, when you see something, you have to react accordingly. Not later on down the line after you done got everything out of it that you think you can get out of it. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then come up. Then I said, what people have to remember is we had this even with Lovey. They said the man was, unalive and unborn babies. His brother was a sacrifice. So and it's hard for us to listen to your other stuff when y'all come out with some really outlandish stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I knew we was in trouble when I heard the Angels on a three-way phone call. I said,
right.
this done went way somewhere else.
It goes crazy, but we're supposed to pick and choose what you're saying is actually true and what is kind of far-fetched or exaggerated. So, and we're the bad people that want to defend a criminal because we don't believe that he's unaliving unborn babies, and we don't believe that he used his own brother as a sacrifice after his brother died of a unfortunate disease that he had been dealing with for years. But
Yeah, that's
believe what
pretty
you're
dirty.
talking about now with owls and witch doc. Get out of here.
Who?
Get out of here.
Who? Who?
Listen, I'm never gonna look at an owl the same. Let
Ever
me tell
again.
you, I'm never gonna look at an owl the same. I ain't gonna even lie.
Every time I see one, Lovie, is that you? Don't you play with me, Lovie.
And again, for whoever came in at the tail end of when I was going off, I'm
Hmm.
just saying I agree with my brother and my sister, my brothers and my
Hmm.
sister up here, that there is abuse in the church.
Yeah,
I'm not negating that. I'm not negating that people have been abused, misused. I totally agree with that. But when you come into the knowledge
coming to the knowledge. Come on.
that it is abuse, you gotta run. You have to run. You can't keep staying and getting abused and receiving perks, because then you enable that person, and then they can come back and use it against you.
Yeah,
Figure out.
yeah.
I don't know, Marcellus. You need to teach a lesson on how to take down your abuser the proper way, because and without getting your hands
Well, and
dirty,
not
that
even
that would be huge.
and more in an effective way where you're actually affecting. You're getting people to look and open their eyes and not just come out of people out of spite and hatred and
Well, but you know what? But not to
uh
cut you off, St. James. The reason why most people won't do it a proper way is because they will expose themselves.
huh.
And that's the other element to that. You know, the reason why I was so frustrated with Gigi and the reason what bothered me so bad, and I kept telling y'all, I remember those first set of videos, I was like, oh, she done slept with the man. And everybody
Hmm.
kept telling me, nah, nah, nah. I said, yes, she has. It took this woman 3, 4 videos before she finally admitted to her part in the situation. So she tried to set herself up as an innocent victim when she was a willing participant. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And and then as she started telling the story more, she needed more clicks. Then a little bit more started coming out instead of really, about her involvement, and her. But after that, I had lost interest because you were so busy trying to get him that you were not taking accountability for your part in it as well. Yeah, yeah. So good conversation, y'all. Good conversation. But listen, those eyes are wide shut. Yeah, JP, they're wide shut. They looking right at and just ignoring every red flag. So
Leah and I am Courtney make everything better. These conversations be so
yeah,
smooth. I
yeah.
tell you. Thank y'all.
Aw.
And I
Aw,
appreciate the
love you
feedback
too.
on the Jake stuff. We're gonna be looking at the next, hopefully, if it's now that I don't think it's in the judge's hand. He may put a date as to when they're going to have their meeting in regards to the
There'll
discovery and
be
all
motions filed. There'll be
that.
paperwork filed. So you just have to keep yourself updated on Pacer. But
Mhm.
there'll be stuff filed. But the case is moving forward. So all of you that thought that Bishop didn't have no case and he was dumb and all of this other stuff, just get ready. Because now
You
we
ain't got
about
to
to
put it
really
on
be
thick, okay?
entertained.
I know I said what I said. You ain't got to put it on thick.
No,
Oh
you
no, no,
wasn't.
I would
You wasn't the only one.
no, that wasn't no, I wasn't even talking about you, but I'm just saying, uh just get ready because there's gonna be some interesting. And here's what I want to say to EJ. If you are listening, EJ, if you've never been in a legal situation, EJ, I hope you don't have any skeletons in your closet. Because let me tell you what's about to happen to you that you just
Oh,
don't
you better
know.
talk about it. Talk about
Yeah,
it.
you are about to be interrogated on a level that you have no idea. That's why when you go into court situations, you have to be a person of integrity and you
Mhm.
cannot be a person who has a whole bunch of skeletons in your closet. Because
Right.
EJ, if you and Lovie were doing certain things, that
Mhm.
lawyer is going to bring it out in your deposition. When you have those depositions, and he's going to use that deposition to impeach you when you finally do make it into court. So if you start that lying and doing all of that stuff, it's going to come back to hurt you in the long run. So you're about to experience something, sir, that you've never experienced before. And may God be with you and a few of them owls because you're going to need them.
And he has
Good
told.
night.
Listen, and you know what's funny, Marcellus? You bring up a
Mhm.
good freaking point. The same accountability we talking about, it kind of does apply. It's not similar, but parallel, I guess, if you could say, or not exact, but parallel, right? while Prison Bay was suing, or while Prison Bay is in whatever type of fight he is with Jakes, his brother was trying to become an employed person on the staff, but writing an affidavit.
Absolutely.
Accountability, guys. Accountability.
And this is after the so-called abuse
The
back
so-called
in.
right.
This is
What?
way after, but this man is so diabolical and horrible that I want to work for.
Child, and they brought that mess right out. So you right, EJ. If you listening, boo, shut the hell up.
Because let me tell you, EJ, let me tell you, as they were friends, EJ and Lovie. So there's a lot of secrets that were told both ways. So he think he got a lot on Lovie, but I'm sure he did some talking also with EJ. So if you're ready for everything to come out, let's go.
EJ, don't let them hush you.
You sound like me with Gigi.
Tell your story. Fight for
Well,
freedom.
I felt Gigi. Tell it, boo. Say what you got to say. But then it just kind of got. I was like, all right, sis. All right now.
Well, I want EJ to tell his story, but like St. James said, he's now trying to raise thousands of dollars. And here's the sad part about it. Now he's doing it with a GoFundMe because that little old church that he got over there, including his online following. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think nobody hacked EJ's YouTube channel. I think he took it down. That's
you
what
think he
happened.
took it down?
Oh, it was so convenient for that
That's
channel to go down. He took that channel down. That's exactly what he did. And because of these people buying followers and doing the things that you're doing, if you notice, St. James, that new channel, ain't nobody over there watching him and following him like that. Where are them thousands of people that he had before? What happened to that?
They're not.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, everybody takes a hit when you're accused of something, the pastors and things, and you may take a hit, but the thing about it, if they have the supporters, they're going to continue to support, and you don't have any control over that. We don't have no control over people who still want to follow Passion Java and all these other Bishop Jordan and that. We don't have no control of people just because we may have an opinion or question what they're doing.
Well,
people are still going to support.
James, their experience is not your experience. That's the part of church I think we really we miss that. My experience is not your experience. The pastor may lean into me in a different way and have nothing to do with you. They may, and then and Marcellus, I know you can understand this one because you are highly gifted. St. James, I know. Courtney, I don't know your dealings with the church, so I don't know if you can attest to this. But as a singer, I had to come to grips with the fact that I am going to be used. Mm-hmm. I gave my life to God to be used. I just get to control how and what, why, and if I'm going to do it for free or if I'm not. I get to control. Mm-hmm. God gave me that freedom. But you are going to be used. That's what the church is all about servitude. Yeah. So you have to really walk. That line is very, very tight. It's a tight rope, especially if you're gifted, because guess what? The pastor is coming for you. Yeah. They're not coming for them other people. They want you up there to pump up the service, to preach. That's right, regardless. They're not there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That is so important. And
well said.
That's when you have to initiate your wisdom. You have to take off that church brain and really get, actual real deal and say, listen, God, you gave me this anointing or you gave me this gift and allow me to operate it and use it in the way that I should, but still use wisdom with it. Yeah, that is so true. Leah, man, y'all did good tonight. Listen here, it is 1:43 a.m. over
I'm
here
trying
in
to
Amsterdam.
go cupcake. It's time to go cupcake. It's still early out in California. Good night.
You do that. All right, Leah. Thank you.
Courtney, good night, sir. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, St. James.
Oh, wait. Before you end. Don't go nowhere, Marcellus. Okay, y'all. So I want to create a GoFundMe. Mm-hmm. Would one of y'all create it for me? It's a GoFundMe
Talk to
because
Courtney about
what I
that.
would
Talk
like
to
to
Courtney
do.
about
Let me tell you the vision. Hold on. Hear me
what's
out.
the
Hear me out.
vision.
Okay, so there is a certain someone who sits at the top of the food chain, right? And I
Mhm.
need y'all to help me get my look together. Okay, so I need to raise about like 10 G's. Because I need at least 3 pair of Louis Vuittons. Okay. I need a
Depends on who
couple of
you going after.
bags.
Let us know who you going after.
I'll DM you, but I need y'all to create the GoFundMe and get the buzz going. Y'all with it? Yeah.
Ooh, bye, y'all.
Okay.
Sure.
Courtney, you foul. You
She
foul.
gone. She said,
Yeah, that's a lot of work to be working up, and I got deals. If I raise money, I got to take a percentage. We'll
at
talk about
least,
that.
at least for 20. At least 20%.
We might need to up that balance. We might need to up that number so I can get a higher percentage.
Oh, we need to up the
Yeah.
back. Okay.
They gave him
Hmm
$19,000 for running his mouth for a case that they know he gonna lose. I mean, they might as well give you 19. Shoot.
I'm just saying.
Listen, and Kevin Bond over there still dancing and screaming, and
Mm.
he know he done lost the darn church. I'm just saying. Let me get off of here.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm out.
Bye. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through tonight. Good talk, good points that are made. And at this point, we just got to figure out what's gonna happen and which way this thing gonna go. We know what we've heard, we know what we've seen. Now we're gonna figure out how it's gonna go. Listen, everybody, make sure you give us a little support on tonight. Let's do it. There is your ways to give. Appreciate each and every one of you that have considered donating to the platform on tonight. Those of you who helped us reach our goal on tonight, thank you so much. Shelby, thank you so much for helping us reach our goal. Ephesians, helping us reach our goal on tonight. Penny Ford, thank you so much, dear lady. Kevin, thank you so much. Sean talks, and then Penny Ford came back in just to give a little extra push, and we appreciate that. And Uncle Paul, I appreciate you as well for helping us reach our goal on tonight. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. I'm still here in Amsterdam. Yes, La, I am here in Amsterdam. Thank you, Lokovic. Hope you thank you, Courtney, for coming up, and Leah and Marcellus. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Matt Church Disease. Marcel, he had a good conversation about the Jake stuff too. So go over there and check that out if you haven't checked it out. I think it's a video from last night, I believe. Listen, I don't know what day it is. What day is it? It's like 1:47 a.m. here. Sunday here, really. But so can't wait to go out and spirit some things on later on today. I think I'm gonna go to sleep again if I can. I'm a little weird, like I can't really go to sleep, but I'm gonna try to force myself to go to sleep so I can get up and have some fun here in Amsterdam. What's up, Edward? Thank you for listening from Ranson, Wisconsin. What's up, Mike Moore? Good to see you as well. All right, thank you, mods, for coming in and regulating. Um, I think that's it. I think that's it. There was something else, but I can't remember. So we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful time. I'll probably pop in. I'll probably pop in. How long was the flight? The flight was 10 hours. Flight was 10 hours long. And it wasn't as bad as the last 10-hour flight I took, but it was still a little grueling, y'all. It was still long, but it just wasn't as bad as last time. Well, yeah, that's I'm gonna do some shopping probably tomorrow or later on today. Whether so can't wait to. I'll be in Stockholm on Wednesday. I'll be there on Wednesday. All right. So can't wait to meet you and say hey to you as well. I'm in Amsterdam right now, but of course will be at the uh Music and Arts with Donald Lawrence on May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We're recording on the 3rd. The new single drops on the 2nd, May 2nd, Global Love Alive London. Make sure you go to all of your streaming platforms to pre-download the Global Love Alive out of London, the music and arts global presentation. You're going to hear all the songs that you love and know, just with a different spill to them. And we had a wonderful time in London, and we know that we're going to have a wonderful time in Stockholm, Sweden in a few days. Just a few days. Over 200 of us are here from are going to be here from the States. So we are going to welcome, and I know there's going to be at least, he said, a 500 voice choir, but I guarantee you it's going to be more of 1,000 voice choir. I'm sure of that. That is what's going to happen when we get there. Duty free, shop till you drop. Yeah, duty free. Yeah, I was like, I don't know about it. Yeah, duty free. So is that I know that's in the airports, right? Duty free, but yeah, got here safely. So I'm so glad. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday. Most of y'all are looking at it on Saturday. Some of y'all is on Sunday. That's over here with me. But y'all have a good time. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. Have a good one, guys.
Deliverance comes when you call. He'll deliver. Deliverance comes when you call. Right on time. Deliverance comes when you call. He'll deliver. Deliverance comes when you call. Then demons tremble when you call. All demons tremble when you call. In the name of Jesus. Demons tremble when you call. Demons tremble. Demons tremble when you call. Then he'll change for the better when you call. He'll change for the better when you call. Change your way of thinking. Change for the better when you call. Change your way of living. Change for the better when you call.